What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Off the Top podcast. My name is Tom.
Collins,
We have a very special episode today. We are ranking and reviewing Tyler the Creator's entire discography. We also have a couple
yeah,
news topics to cover, but man, we listened to the whole Tyler discography this week, all the albums, including Bastard. I'm excited to talk about them. I have thoughts, I have favorites, I have least favorites. I'm definitely interested to see where this goes because I really have no idea. We disagree on a lot of music, surprisingly. So I'm curious to see with one of our. This is like one of our favorite artists of all time, both of us, but maybe we like different things about him. So I'm curious to see what happens.
yeah. I mean, we're definitely gonna have some different opinions. I just already know it. Got a couple other good segments here. Got some good singles this week. Yeah, no other album reviews though. We're saving that for next week. But let's go, bro.
All right, so I guess before we hop into the Tyler discography, let's cover a little bit of the news because Travis Scott, 10 years after Days Before Rodeo released, he releases the album on streaming platforms, right? And it almost hits number one, but it's blocked by none other than Sabrina Carpenter. At least it's not Taylor Swift, At least it's someone new. It's her opener, Sabrina Carpenter, who's kind of
Yeah,
blown up though. Like she's not her opener anymore. She's
I
fucking ginormous.
600 units I seen, and apparently
Yeah.
Travis's team is complaining about some hidden units that didn't get counted by somebody that used to work for Sabrina Carpenter or something. I don't know. Some rumors going around. Some drama swirling. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, I have the numbers right here. So this is the Billboard Top 200. That's how they do albums. Sabrina Carpenter sold 362,000 of Short and Sweet, and then Days Before Rodeo 361,000. If you break it down and don't do the rounding, it's like 611 album sales I think they beat by. Like that is insane. But it's also like a 10-year-old mixtape. Is he really going to be that upset? It's not like a day. If it was a Utopia, it would have sold more.
It really is crazy that 10 years after the original release, it's out. It's going to be the number one album, or
Yeah.
almost was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's
Like
crazy.
you can't be mad that you're number two on a 10-year-old mixtape getting thrown on
Not at all.
streaming
Yeah,
services.
not at all.
How much money do you think Travis made off Days Before Rodeo? 361,000 album sales first week. Like how what does that even translate to?
I have no clue. But yeah, I mean, I guess on topic, maybe Travis next doesn't have that many
Travis
albums, so
Travis discography would be fun actually. Cuz
yeah, it'd be solid.
I wasn't really a huge Travis guy back in the day. I kind of really hopped on the Travis wave like in the lead up to
Travis
Astroworld.
Train.
Yeah, Travis Train, that's much better. But
Yeah.
like Rodeo, Birds in the Trap, Huncho Huncho, Jack Boys, I don't know if I've listened to any of those front to back. I've obviously done Astroworld and Utopia because that's more recent, but like back then I
Right.
wasn't really following him like that. So we should do Travis discography. If you have anyone else you want us to listen to the whole discography rank review, let us know. We'll do it because we're trying to find out who to do next. We've done Kendrick, we're doing Tyler today. So let us know who you want to see, but I like Travis honestly. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I mean, yeah, that'd be a good one, I think.
Yeah, and then Post Malone actually, just for the sake of saying it, is at number three with 111,000, so way down there. Chappelle Rowan, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, is number four with 72,000. Then Morgan Wallen, number five, 58,000. You know that Chappelle Rowan song, HOTTOGO? You can take me hot to
Mm-mm.
go, and they do the dance.
No, no, I don't.
But you know who Chappelle Rowan is.
I've heard of her the past few weeks. Like I've seen her face maybe once or twice. Yeah.
She's kind of like the new Lady Gaga, only in the sense that she's like the queer icon right now, kind of
Oh,
taken over. And she has this one song, like
I heard somebody singing
HOTTOT.
it like a
Yeah,
grown man.
that song. If you know that, I was at a wedding recently, and
Yeah.
all the Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids, they were doing the dance, singing the song. I was like, damn, I'm old. I don't know this song. But since
Okay.
then, in the coming weeks, I've heard it more and I'm more familiar. But when I first heard that song at a wedding, that was the first time I heard of Chappelle Rowan, and now she's
Hmm.
number four album in the country. That's kind of crazy. So like she just came out of nowhere.
Okay.
It seems like
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check her out for sure.
we'll do a Chappelle Rowan discography review. I think she has
Yeah, yeah.
one
I was gonna
EP,
say I
four
was too
songs.
busy listening to "Bastard" by Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, we did do Bastard. I mentioned that we did Bastard, but we didn't leave Bastard off the
Yeah,
list because
of
I just
course.
felt like that was important to do. Like,
It is. It is. It is. In the sense, in the scope of things, after looking at it, it definitely is.
yeah, like when you go through the whole Tyler discography, like Bastard does play a really important role. My notes for this one are even longer and crazier than the Kendrick discography. I have so many notes.
Yeah,
So many.
I slowed down on the last few because I was like, okay, this is gonna like I'll just be sitting here for fucking an hour just yapping if I just spewed all these notes. So I just kind of some tidbits at the end, but yeah, I'm
Tyler's
excited
just
for that
like one of those artists that like we've listened to Tyler since eighth
for a
grade.
minute. Yeah,
You were probably in seventh grade because I was in ninth grade, so you
I
must have been
was.
sixth or
Yeah,
seventh grade. And like ever since then, we've loved Tyler. We've supported him the whole way through. So it was fun to listen to the whole thing front to back in like a week span though.
it is interesting. It is interesting.
But yeah, Sabrina Carpenter blocks Travis Scott. There's some drama there, but let's do a segment or like a little game
Yeah, yeah.
because
Let's do it.
I have a list of 10 things here for you. You have a list of 10 things for me. And I'm basically just going to throw a name or an album or a song or something at you. And you're just going to tell me, is it overrated? Is it underrated? I guess technically you could say it's perfectly rated. But, over or underrated. You're familiar with the game.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's do it, bro.
But, all right, I got 10 of them for you. Let's start off here. First
All right,
one, overrated or underrated? Playboy Cardi.
that's crazy. I knew. See, there's a few names on here I know you're gonna throw at me. Overrated or underrated?
Yeah.
He's got to be overrated. He's got to be overrated.
That's where I lean as well.
Just
I would
because
just,
he's got such a cult following,
yeah.
and he makes good music, but it's not revolutionary like people like to think it is. But yeah, I'll say overrated.
Okay, number 2, Tyler the Creator, Igor. Don't give too much away, but that's number
Wait,
2.
what? So
Igor,
I
the
have to.
album. Overrated or
Okay,
underrated?
just the album.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it won Best
how
Rap
do
Album
people?
Grammy. It's highly
Yeah,
regarded as his best project.
yeah, maybe overrated.
Okay.
Maybe overrated.
I might agree with you. We'll find out
Maybe.
later. Number
Yeah, we'll
3,
find out.
Kendrick Lamar's Meet the Grams diss track.
Underrated. Underrated for sure.
You
Underrated.
think?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Nobody. I mean, it is interesting because obviously nobody's gonna be bumping it, but at the same time, I do feel like that was the best actual diss track to come out of the whole beef. So
It's definitely
that's
the
just
most
me.
twisted.
Yeah. Right.
Like crazy.
That. I mean, yeah. It makes. Yeah. For
And
sure.
it charted on Billboard, which is like, what?
Which is kind of crazy.
How does that
for a
even
minute.
happen? All right, number 4, Eminem's discography. It's considered one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people hate on it though. Low key, I'm gonna go underrated, bro. Hot take. It's kind of underrated.
I kind of agree with you, honestly.
Like with the recovery, MMLP2, fucking Kamikaze,
Exactly.
now TDOSS era. Kind of underrated. Not gonna lie.
That's where I leaned. It's like the beginning 3 everyone loves, but as you get later, like those are still great.
Low key, kind of underrated.
All right, ASAP Rocky, number 5.
Except Rocky. I feel like he's like perfectly rated.
You think?
Like, yeah, a lot of people fuck with him for a good reason. He makes good music, but also he's kind of one of them people that fly under the radar.
I'll give you a bonus one here. 5.5. ASAP Rocky's Fashion.
Underrated for sure. That was a layup. Yeah, underrated. Yeah, he's one of the best in the game for sure.
He is. But I don't know. I feel like his fashion might be a little overrated. Like he's
From a
great,
Drake fan.
I don't think Drake is fashionable at all.
No, it was just funny because Drake said that. It was funny because he said something like that. Something.
They
like
only
that.
care about your fit again and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Well, we actually mentioned this next one already. Rodeo by Travis Scott, the album.
Rodeo. See, I don't really know. Probably perfectly rated.
It's
I think perfectly rated. Because a lot of people, don't necessarily consider it his best, but it's like a cult classic type shit.
Yeah. Number 7, I got a song for you. Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. Everyone's favorite hype up song before a football game.
Yeah, I mean, it perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. Great song.
It is.
Great song. Shout out Meek Mill. It's probably his best song, so.
You think?
It's
I
up
think
there.
It's his best. It's my favorite
It's up
Meek Mill
there.
song.
It's up there.
I agree with you. Kanye West Production is the next one.
Well, if you asked me in 2010, I'd say underrated or
Yeah,
perfectly rated. If you ask me today, overrated for sure.
that's where I'm at.
It sucks.
It does suck. Number 9, I got an artist, Jay Z.
I knew you were gonna do that. Overrated. Nice.
Okay, last one. Drake's 100 gigs drop.
Overrated or underrated?
I've gotten like 5 or 6 songs, I think. You know
I
how are
think
the
perfectly rated. I think a lot of people know that it's kind of just like throwaways. There's that it's up, right? Or
It's Up is the big one, I think.
and yes.
No Face.
No face, no face. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yes is Big Sean, but yeah.
Mm. I think
Um
Circadian Rhythm is slept on. I love that song, honestly.
okay, okay. I'll say perfectly rated for that one.
All right, that's all 10.
Okay. All right.
Now you
I
got
got
10
10
for
for
me.
you. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think though?
I f-
You
what?
you thought I was going to go basically the way I did on most of those?
Yeah, I would say like we agreed on a majority of those. I think there was like maybe 2 that I disagree with you on, like ASAP Rocky's Fashion. That's like the only one
Yeah.
I can think of.
Okay. I got a few for you that
Okay.
are kind of similar too. So we'll start off. We had the same one in mind first. So Playboy Cardi, you tell me. Is he overrated or underrated?
He's overrated because I like
Okay.
Playboy Cardi, but like people standing for him and they think he's the greatest artist of our
I
generation. That's
think
just not true.
yeah, it's the internet that kind of skews our opinion on that probably.
Yeah.
Let's go Travis Scott, overrated or underrated, Tom?
Hmm. See, like, because Travis does a lot. He does the merch. He's a curator, fashion, clothes, performance, all that. As a whole, Travis Scott is underrated.
Okay. All right. Few people that are underrated. Let's see, are they or not? Drake,
Drake is perfectly rated, I would say. He's
perfectly
hated by
rated.
half of people, loved by half people. It's right where he belongs.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's go with Logic.
Logic is underrated. Maybe the most
Underrated?
underrated thing you're going to list today. Logic's album, Ultra 85, slept on. Logic as a whole slept on. He's corny sometimes. He has corny songs. His biggest song is like a suicide prevention hotline song.
Right.
He's corny sometimes, but he's underrated. He
He's
produces a
got a
lot of
lot of
his own
fans though.
shit.
Got a lot of fans.
He does, but you don't hear about him like in the culture. Like people aren't
Okay.
talking about Logic.
Let's go Quavo. Underrated or overrated?
Hmm. Offset's my favorite Migo. If I had to pick one, I would still say underrated. I think for Quavo.
Okay. All right. I agree. I agree. Let's go. This is an interesting one. Let's see. Is JPEG Mafia overrated or underrated? So
Underrated. Do people even know who
underrated.
that is? I loved his last album so much. Like underrated for
In
sure.
in the hip hop world, I was curious. I feel maybe he's a bit overrated in the hip hop world, but okay, that was a few that I had in question. One more that I'm wondering about. What
Okay.
about Don Toliver, Tom? Overrated, underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And I liked his
Wasn't sure how
last
you would go
album.
there.
I liked his
Yeah.
last album, but he's overrated as a whole.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. That's all I had. So there you go.
Bang.
Boom.
But yeah, we both agree. Playboy Cardi overrated.
Overrated. Yeah.
But I do like him. You know, like
It
I
is
still like
interesting.
him.
It is interesting because I like him too, and he makes good music. But people like I think it's just because people ride him so like glaze him so hard on the internet. But
Yeah,
I mean,
everything.
fucking Aiden Ross paid $2 million for like what 6 words or something. Remember?
Yeah,
So it's just
actually, the No Face from Drake's 100 gigs that was
yeah.
released on streaming. He's not even on it anymore, right?
Nah, he got taken
They
off of
they
it,
took
but
off his ad libs.
yeah, it's still a
What is
good
the
song
point?
though.
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
No Face is Drake's best song in the decade, hmm, of the year. One of the is maybe top 10 of the decade.
Family
Aside
Matters
from the
was this
beef,
year though.
aside from the beef,
Yeah, I don't know.
because
I guess
yeah,
I do like it. No Face is great. So I was
yeah,
just
but
like, Playboy Cardi said 2 words on there, and then you just took him off for the actual release. That's just hilarious. And then Lil Yachty wasn't on the Super Soak release. It's like, damn, can't keep these
yeah,
features.
right. And it is interesting because I mean, you definitely got to keep in mind Family Matters drop, but outside the beef, to me, it's the best, one of the best Drake releases. I just like the cadence, the flow. All right, Tom, I got a little segment for you though. I brought a few possible facts. You got to tell me if they're facts or fiction. Facts or fiction. So let's get it, Tom. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. So Lil Nas X bought
Okay.
the Old Town Road beat for $100,000. Is that true or false?
I'm gonna say false. It's even less.
It's way less. It's
$300.
about $30 you paid for it. Okay, so I made it easy for you.
$30.
I wanted to see how high I could go on that one. I want to see how high I could go. All right,
Because he was no
so
one at the time. Where did he get 100 grand?
that's kind of true. That's kind of
That's
true.
where I was like,
I
no
won't say
way.
no one, but he wasn't. Yeah, he definitely wasn't as big. All right, here we go. Ghostface Killer
Mm-hmm.
from Wu-Tang Clan
Mm-hmm.
originally wore a mask because he was wanted by the feds in his area. Is that true or false?
I'm gonna say that's true.
That is false. I got your ass on that one. He did not wear a mask because of that reason. He just thought it was mysterious. And he actually got his name from Mystery of Chess Boxing. You might know that shit, so check it out. All right. So you're 1 for 1.
I'm
All
one
right.
for two. Yeah,
Or
I'm one
yeah,
and
one
one.
and
Yeah.
one. 1 and 1.
I got you.
1 for 2. Um Tupac Shakur studied ballet. Is that true or false?
I've never heard that before. False.
That's damn, I got your ass again, bro. That is true. Tupac actually did study ballet in Baltimore Art School. So there
I
you
just
go.
figured I
Get
would
your
have heard
facts
that
up.
before.
All
I
right,
figured I
one
was like, I
more.
would have
One
heard that
more.
if it's
You
true.
can either break even or take the L here.
Okay.
Drake wrote for Dr. Dre in Aftermath. Is that true?
In Aftermath, okay. Like
And
just
Aftermath.
oh. I would say yes for that. That's true.
That is true. And rumors are that he had writing credits on Dre's unreleased album Detox. So you went 2 and 2, 2 for 4 there. So good job, not bad. And Tupac did study ballet.
That is crazy though, because now Dr. Dre's out there whispering on Kendrick's stage, and
It
it's
is
just
interesting
like
because like everybody talks about Drake's ghostwriters, but he was ghostwriting for people a while back.
exactly.
But
That's the thing. Like literally everyone has ghostwriters. Like in modern music, people get together and write songs, and if you're hanging with
right,
your boys and they give you a bar, you throw them a writing credit because that's just the nice thing to do. People overhype that. That's overrated. The Drake ghostwriter
overrated,
thing, overrated.
overrated. That
Like,
would have been a good question.
It just is. Like I don't give a shit about that at all. Like if he didn't write any music, that's one thing, but having someone else have a writing credit on your song means basically nothing to me. Like
Right.
I
Sometimes
don't care.
it depends. It depends. Because like on the Jumbotron shit poppin',
Hmm.
like when people write the whole song and put out the reference track, it is like okay,
Yeah.
give them the flow, the cadence, and everything. Then it's like all right.
But they were just making songs together. Then Yachty was probably like, "Yo, I don't really like this song. You want to
Yeah,
Drake?" And
but
Drake's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll make this."
there
song.
are cases though where it's like they're supposed to be deep, meaningful songs when they're not even written by them. Like a lot of Kanye shit is not even written by Kanye. Like
Yeah.
it is a sad reality, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like it is what it is thing. I just don't care about that much about the ghostwriter thing.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
Like you think Sabrina Carpenter's writing all her own shit?
I mean,
She's a
obviously
scam.
not. Right. That's not who we're talking about though.
I mean, I know.
It's all about rappers, MCs out here.
I mean, yeah, rappers I do think should be held to a little bit higher of a standard maybe than a
Yeah,
pop star.
dude. If I was a rapper, it's like a sport. I don't know. I would
Yeah.
say I would treat it like a sport.
I mean, yeah, back in the day it definitely wasn't as common as it is nowadays. Like people didn't really do that back then. But now it's kind of
Oh.
like common practice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, now everybody does it for real.
But all right, well there you have it. That's the news for the week. We've played a couple games. Now it's time for the juice of the episode.
Let's do it.
Me and Colin, we listened to the entire Tyler the Creator discography. We've taken notes on the whole thing. Bastard, Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb, Flower Boy, Igor, and Call Me If You Get Lost. We listened to all 7. We're going to rank them, review them, put them on a tier list. Let us know who you want to see us do next. We're going to start with Bastard. We're going to go chronologically.
Yep, makes sense.
What'd you think about Bastard? Let me hear it. Let's get into it.
I mean, yeah, it's a good concept album, with the school counselor, you know what I'm saying, comes in at the beginning of the album. He's kind of like venting to him, saying all this outrageous, outlandish shit.
Yeah, I kind of described it as like a therapy session, but yeah, school counselor, that could be it too. I never even really considered that.
I think it was, or something like that, something around those lines. But yeah. Throughout the album that plays out, he continues lashing out with the outrageous, or as Earl Sweatshirt calls it, 98M reincarnated vibes on AssMilk. He says that. So horrorcore type raps and explaining the reasoning behind his, his lashing out is because his absent father. And that plays into the name of the album Bastard as well. So I thought it's a great idea to use that as a concept for your album and name it that. I thought was simple, but it's great.
For your
Uh,
first mixtape when you're 17 years old is kind of crazy.
yeah, I think it's a great idea, honestly, and it's a solid title, solid concept. Um, Theoretically, finishing the album with him killing that part of his ego or whatever his character, and I thought was interesting. Throughout the album, the concept I thought was interesting. Good rapping, good features with Earl, Mike G, and Hodgy. But you also got some of the worst features of all time with
Literally of
Taco,
all time.
on Tina.
Yeah.
You can hear the adolescence, that they're all young in the OF members' voices, obviously, and their raps. But now it didn't seem like much at that time, or might not now when you listen to it. But if you've been a fan for so long, it's kind of like a cult classic kind of deal, where it's like, okay, this is kind of bad, but it's
On
cool.
purpose.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like some of it is definitely bad on purpose, but kind of got that cult classic kind of feel for a lot of the Odd Future stands out there. So, and for Tyler stands out there, and kind of in Tyler's career. So, you got lines like him saying, "I sold my soul to the devil for 30% off." He said, "This bitch knew dick like Bubba knew shrimp." Like a lot of like Eminem esque vibes for sure,
Exactly.
and lines all throughout this album.
He's funny as hell.
Session, great Mike G verse, and great like little concept right there with the the smoke sesh reincarnation of 98 Eminem, like fucking Earl said on AssMilk. You got AssMilk, which is one of the first Odd Future bangers, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's in my
but
top
yeah,
4 in this album.
not a crazy. The raps aren't very good. The production's pretty all right. It's nothing crazy. The lyrical content is bad. It's pretty bad. But it's like a cult classic. You know what I'm saying? So
Don't give me your
six.
score yet. We'll do the
Okay.
scores after we both because I,
All
I
right.
I
All right.
want
All
to,
right.
but I want to know your favorite songs though.
My
No,
favorite songs. Let me
like
pull up
3
the
or 4
track
if you
list. I'm
wrote
not.
down a couple.
I mean, Ass Milk for sure.
That's on my
Odd
list.
Toddlers is probably up there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I have to look at the track
Session and
list.
AssMilk are both in my top
Session.
4 as well.
Session.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, when I started, like, I was honestly really excited to listen to the Tyler discography. As soon as you start Bastard and you hear, like, the therapy session, I'm like, oh, that just brings back, like, so much nostalgia right off the bat. And it really is crazy. Like, he was 17 years old when he made this album and, like, wrote it and recorded it. Like, it may not hold up quality wise, but he was ahead of his time doing this full blown concept mixtape at 17 years old. Like it's impressive. And another thing I thought was cool, Tyler says on Bastard that his goal in life is to win a Grammy. And now he has 2 best rap album Grammys later in his career for Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost. Another thing that I just thought was crazy is this album, Bastard, came out the same year as Drake's So Far Gone. So they've both been in the game the same amount of time, which is just like
You
weird to
mentioned
think
that
about.
too, and I don't mean to interrupt, but it also came out the same year as Relapse, which I thought was interesting, right?
True.
2009,
Yeah.
which was like, okay, wow. You see
Yeah.
where the fuck he got his ideas from, basically, but
It was
all
a
right, go
dark
for it.
time. It was a dark
It
time
was
in
a
hip
dark
hop.
time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's definitely okay, so if you've been listening to Tyler for years, you know in his early career, he had a lot of homophobic slurs and a lot of questionable lyrics about sexual assault and homophobia, these things. Like that is definitely on this album. But like that was just like kinda it was a different time. That was part of the Odd Future experience. I don't knock it too much for that, but hearing it now you are kinda like, oh wow.
Well, it's
They were
horrorcore
saying
rap.
some
You know
crazy
what I
shit.
mean? It's
Yeah.
different. It's a different genre. It's like a subgenre. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the
like I
Big L,
personally
like
I don't
Satan
count it
raps.
against it, you know.
Yeah. So
But it's there for sure. So I just want to point out that it is there, and like Bastard being Tyler's first project, a full concept album about therapy, is just like crazy. Overall, going back to Bastard, I actually enjoyed more of the songs than I thought I would. like 15 years later after everything Tyler's done. Like I was surprised how many songs I actually did like. The production quality, not the best. There's like some straight up bad songs, like Tina. That's like the one I wrote here
It's
as
crazy.
an example. Tina is so bad. Like it's there's just like something special though about the old Odd Future music and like a bunch of kids having fun saying crazy shit and like they blew up. Like I don't know, there's something special about Bastard. I like it. I liked more songs going back than I thought I would. French, Blow, AssMilk, and Session I put as my top four. Like there's actually good songs on here though, surprisingly. Like I wasn't sure if there would even be like really good songs, but there are. Like I
Yeah,
think
AssMilk.
yeah, AssMilk is so good. French with Hodgy I really liked. I think Blow is also a Hodgy and Tyler
Yeah.
song. But yeah, it holds up. You can give me your score now. I'm ready. I just wanted to wait and give our scores at the same time.
Ready? Mine's a 6.7.
Mine's a 6.5.
Right, dude. This is gonna be weird to see how
I
lined
also
up we are, but
I also have the Metacritic scores for all the albums.
the Metacritic.
This is a 6.5 on Metacritic, which is what I
The
gave it and
fuck?
basically what you gave it. I have that for all the albums, so we'll see what the general public has rated
Okay.
them and what we rate them.
I guess we're
Bastard.
normies for that then.
Yeah, Bastard's a 6.5 on the internet. I'm at a 6.5. You're at a 6.7. So on the tier list,
Crazy.
this is the first one. Set the standard. Bastard by Tyler. Where does it go on the tier list?
Considering I'm a big Eminem fan, I'm a big horrorcore fan, big L guy. I really like the outlandish offensive raps. Um, I think B.
You
It's a
think
cult
B?
classic.
I'm not opposed to B or C.
I think B.
There's just a lot of bad songs, you know?
Yeah, there's a few.
You think B?
I think B.
Okay. We can always move stuff around at the end if we decide
We
to,
can
but
move stuff if we need to.
yeah, Bastard at B, we'll start there. And after Bastard is Goblin, which is like when we were like deep into the OF rabbit hole. Like we probably only listened to Goblin for like a year and a half when it came out. It was a big album to us in our friend group when we were kids. I guess I'll go first on this one. Like Goblin might be the album that I listen to the most from like age 13 to 18. And some of the most nostalgic songs ever for me are on Goblin, honestly. Like it just hit us, or me at least, in the right time of my life, ninth grade. Like I listened to Goblin so much in my life. There's definitely an upgrade in production value, like when it comes like when comparing it to Bastard. So that's good, but it's still not like what we come to expect from Tyler nowadays. Like the production isn't up to the level of like a Flower Boy or a Call Me If You Get Lost or an Igor, but it's definitely a step up, I thought, from Bastard. Like it's not as bad production quality. And I feel like you did see it on Bastard, but Tyler is like hilarious and super dark, and the lyrical content on Goblin is just like some of the funniest shit. He's like saying crazy shit, super out of pocket stuff. Like it is pretty funny. Goblin as a whole is just like a funny album. I never actually realized before that the intro on Bastard and Goblin are both the therapy session songs. I guess I never really listened to them back to back, but they both have like the same
They're
concept. They're like
they're a
connected.
duo. Yeah, they're a
Yeah.
duo album. It's
Yeah.
like a double album almost.
I
That's
don't know if
why
I ever
that's
even noticed
why
that.
Bastard's important because it carries on all the way into Wolf actually. So we'll get to that though.
Yeah, I do think I prefer the song Goblin over the song Bastard. I think when I'm like comparing them, like I do think the one on Goblin holds up a little better. Yonkers is so fucking good. Radicals holds a special place in my heart, but it sucks. It's a bad song.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty bad.
she might be my favorite Tyler song to this day. I wrote this note before I listened to the next five. I don't know if I feel that way anymore, but she with Frank Ocean is so good. Like Tyler and Frank together is just like so nice on a song. She was like a huge song. He has the blue box logo hoodie in the video. That song's amazing. And like songs like Radicals and Sandwitches and like they're just not good songs, but they're like anthems, and hearing them at a live show is so fun, but they're just so bad to just like sit and listen to in like headphones or a car. Like they just aren't good. Like if you hand someone an aux cord and they put on Sandwiches
Bitch
and
suck dick. How you're
that
forgetting about the best one.
that one's awful. No. But like
It's
I
crazy.
Radicals and Sandwiches, they didn't age the best, and like I just they're also bad on purpose, and it's just like a bunch of kids having fun. So I don't like necessarily knock that score wise, but they're definitely not good songs. But like I've heard those songs live performed with all of them on stage, and they are fun. So I guess I'm glad they exist. They're definitely not good though. There's a lot of long ass songs on Goblin too, like 6 7 minute songs. I think like there's multiple 7 minute songs if I'm remembering correctly, which leads to a really long runtime. I think this album's like an hour and 30 minutes or something, the deluxe. Like it is really long, but actually it's like such a unique listening experience. Like when this came out and you listened to Goblin for the first time, like nothing had ever been like this before. So I didn't even really mind the really long runtime. The first half of Goblin though, definitely way stronger than the second half. There's like really bad songs on this album, but I think the front half, like She, Tron Cat, Yonkers, like there's a lot of good songs on the front half. It's always gonna be an important album to me that I love, but I don't know. I'm torn on Goblin because there's a lot of songs I like, a lot of
He
songs that
said,
are really bad. Like there's bad songs on here, but I guess some of my favorites: Yonkers, She, Nightmare, Tron Cat, Analog, Burger. Like there's a lot of good songs,
just, yeah.
but there's a lot of bad songs. I'm like
Yeah.
so torn on this album.
All right.
What do you got? Let me know.
All right. Well, I mean, although he carries the concept over, like we talked about the school counselor, that ends up actually being Tyler's own consciousness, his own self conscious, his own ego.
Yeah,
You could definitely hear, like you said, some maturation from Bastard, in some points of the production and a little bit of the shitty rapping. Let's just be honest on the album. Um, with songs like Fish and the AU-79 instrumental, especially though, uh, on the production side of things. The start of the unique Tyler sound on songs like She, where he really starts to come into his own. It's like the beginning of Tyler's era, I feel like, with songs like that. Obviously, Yonkers with his first mainstream exposure.
it slaps, bro.
It's probably what, like top 5 stream songs for him, maybe still, like, and
Probably
it's
number one,
it's not number one, but and it's not nearly his best song, so it shouldn't be, but
but it
it's his
slaps.
first mainstream exposure. At some point, so I feel like the beats just felt flat. It felt a bit
Yeah,
short and a little boring. You know what I'm saying? But Tyler's rapping isn't always enough to carry beats like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there are rappers out there that can take super boring beats and rap over them and make them all right, but Tyler's rapping isn't always enough to carry the boring beats, especially on Goblin. So
especially when they're 7 minutes long.
yeah, so it definitely weighed the album down. I feel like Bastard did a better job at like the pure horrorcore like style album. Personally, I think Bastard's better in that sense. You got songs like "Bitch Suck Dick," where Taco's verse is again terrible, maybe a little bit better, but it's again terrible. Um,
So bad.
yeah, rapping highlights with Burger in terms of the flows and cadences, but that's a deluxe, I'm pretty sure.
I
Um,
actually don't remember. Possibly because I know it's at the back half.
yeah, and the intro is a bit more introspective, but it's a skit for me. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some bad songs on this
I
album,
mean, yeah,
so
I'm not listening to Goblin.
it's a pretty bad album.
I mean, yeah, it's not great, but I don't think it's bad. I do think it's a better
She,
album than Bastard.
I don't think so personally, but let's get to it.
I think
I got a 6 out of 10 for this one.
I have a 7.6.
That's so high, but okay, all right.
There's way more good songs on here than Bastard, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
Like
there's also
like
way more bad songs, I
I
think.
think there's like the same amount of bad and just more good. And
And I felt like the beats felt a bit flatter. I just felt like the whole horrorcore vibe was better on Bastard,
I mean,
personally.
yeah, but I think the production on Bastard is just so bad compared to like
I
Goblin's a
think is
step up in production
I don't
quality.
know about that. Maybe a little bit, slightly in songs like AU-79 or what's the one, Fish. You know what I'm saying? But it's still pretty bad.
It's
But all
definitely
right,
not
yeah,
a great album, but like this album is special. There's just something
yeah.
about
Nah,
Goblin.
it's nostalgic for sure, but it's not nostalgic enough for me personally to rank it that high. I give it a 6.
A 6. All right, well,
6.
let's bring up the tier list then.
Boy, here we go.
Here's the tier list.
So you think this should go A?
No, I don't.
You think it should go B?
I think Bastard and Goblin should both be C. No, they should both be B. They should both be on the same tier, I think.
I
I
think
get
Goblin should be C. I think it's his worst project,
definitely not.
personally.
There's no way that this is his worst project. That just
Dude, it
doesn't make
definitely
sense.
is, bro.
Compared to another one that we're gonna talk
Dude,
about,
nostalgia is not enough to carry this, bro. This is the worst album.
Dude, no.
Go back and
there's an
listen
album.
to.
There's
Bro.
an album in this discography that I'll never listen to again. I fucking hate it so much. And Goblin is not.
We're talking about bitch suck dick being, dude. It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
All right.
There's a lot of good songs on here though. Yonkers, She, Nightmare, Tron Cat, Analog Burger.
She
There's
is.
other. There's other
Yonkers
songs that
is
I didn't even
arguably
mention.
not that great of a song. She is a good song. It's really the start of him, but Radicals is bad. Windows is all right. You know what I'm saying?
Really
There's
like
just some
Windows
long
so
shit. What's carrying it for me is the concept. I'm lagging a little bit, but yeah, what carries it for me is the concept, and it doesn't. Like I said, Tyler's rapping isn't. It's not enough to carry him over the boring ass beats sometimes.
I feel like we should
But-
put these at C personally. You really think Bastard is better than Goblin? I
I
don't
personally
see
do,
that.
yeah. If we're talking about the horrorcore album, which
I'm talking
he
about
was
the
trying
album.
to do,
I don't care what genre
Yeah, but-
it is.
yeah, exactly. The album is better executed. I think the mixtape is better executed, in my opinion.
I don't know. I just don't agree at all. So I guess we'll just have to leave them on the same
That's
tier.
fair.
But
Yeah.
you want to have them in B or C? You want to leave them at B then for now? See where the other ones end up going?
Yeah.
Because I do think they're like similarly ranked. I just think the production on Goblin is better and there's more good songs on there. Like I liked Bastard. I was surprised how much I liked it, but Goblin just
I
had
don't
more
know.
good songs to me.
I don't know about that. AssMilk, Session. I don't know.
Those are the only two you've named. You
7.
keep naming those two. I mean, seven
There's
is
good songs on there though,
Seven's not a good song, I wouldn't say.
but
You know.
yeah. I mean, sure.
I do think they're like definitely they're not I think Tyler's like one of the artists that actually does progressively get better through his career.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Like these are
It is
of
interesting.
the low point.
It is interesting because this is the only time in his career I feel like he did like not take a step forward from one album to the other. But they were probably made it like the same exact time. One's a mixtape, one's a studio album, one carries the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Bastard was a better concept. Well, although they're like the same concept album, you know what I'm saying? It was just a better fucking horrorcore album to me. I don't know. It made more sense. It was a better album to me. I don't know.
What do you think Goblin is rated on Metacritic? If Bastard was a 6.5.
It's got to be worse. It's got to be like a fucking 5 on Metacritic.
Goblin is a 5.4.
Yeah.
So a whole point below Bastard.
See, okay. I'm glad at least the general consensus agrees with me. But
I was open to not liking
Corny.
Goblin, but I listened to it and I still like a lot of the songs on there.
there's just some bad, and the beats are just so boring sometimes.
I mean,
But and bitch suck dick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just some bad songs.
Yeah, I just feel like the same way about Bastard, you know.
Yeah, but I think there definitely was some maturation in like definitely the production with like Fish and AU79 instrumental and shit. So, all right.
Well, that leads us to the next album, Wolf. That was after Goblin. So you can go first on this one. Let me know what you thought about Wolf.
Yeah, well, Wolf is the introduction to Sam and Wolf, kind of both his personalities. In my opinion, this is Tyler's best project up until this point in his career.
I would agree with that.
Proving
up until
that
this point.
Yeah, up until this point in his career, proving that not only he can be edgy and offensive with songs like Tamale, obviously a classic Tyler vibe,
Banger,
but
dude.
also thoughtful and introspective to a high level with songs like Cowboy, you know what I'm saying, or the concept of Sam versus Wolf throughout the album, battling each other, you know, fighting over a girl. And when it comes to rapping, it's Tyler's best performances yet, you know what I'm saying, especially, you know, on the album and even out the gate on Jamba, which gives you, you know, high hopes for the album, and he really carries it throughout the album. as well as members of Odd Future like Hodgy, Domo, and Earl all had better verses than prior. So I feel like they're all kind of leveled up on this album. And for me, this is like the classic Tyler one, like Goblin is to you. This is kind of the one for me. Wolf, with songs like Jamba, Rusty, Domo 23. Those are the standout songs to me, but those are the OF era classics. And you got the transition to a more modern Tyler sound with songs like I Fucking Hate You and Answer. So it's kind of that transition period, and this I feel like is the point in his career where he kind of he kills off that the bastard alter ego and kind of just starts to move forward. So at the same time, there is still some left to be had on the production and rapping part of things, and you got songs like Trash Wang still on these albums, which is
Exactly.
just like why. But this one's a 7.5 for me.
Okay,
But
I
yeah,
mean
I
that
mean to
makes
blurt out
sense.
my number, but I'm just used to doing that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that Wolf is definitely a step up from Bastard and Goblin. Like, and I also agree that Wolf is kind of like the turning point where Tyler starts to get more experimental and hands on with the production, and the music kind of becomes like more fully fleshed out. Even if it, I don't know, like the songs just feel more like songs and they have better concepts, and there's like fully fleshed out ideas instead of like a bunch of kids screaming on a shitty beat that Sid made in a garage or something. Like it's a step up for sure. It's also crazy that all three of his first albums are kind of like intertwined in the concept. Like that is cool. I
With
don't
the
know if I've
counselor,
ever,
yeah,
yeah, like I never really know if I listened like in order like that and even caught that. They're all like Bastard, Goblin, and Wolf are all kind of one big concept album. Like they're
yeah.
all connected.
And I don't know if you caught it, but it's literally just him fighting with himself. The counselor is
Is
him,
him. Yeah.
Sam is him, and
Yeah.
Wolf is him. It's
Yeah.
all just him
They're
fighting
all
with.
just him,
Yeah, it's all just him.
which is
So
funny.
yeah,
And like Tyler has always been like a meaningful talk, like open about his feelings and stuff lyrically, but Answer is probably the most vulnerable song we've gotten from Tyler up to this point in his career. Like on Answer, he's like opening out about his father and like getting like real about stuff. Not only does he talk about his father, but he talks about how like the fame from Goblin and Yonkers has like affected him, and talking about the roach, like he ate one roach and now he's like this huge guy, and like he does talk about how the fame from the first two projects has affected him. So like I do think that's interesting because they're literally just kids when this is all happening. He's like 20 years old, and like I really like the song Beamer. I wish it was its own song instead of a third song on a multi-track. Like I
I
really like
agree.
Beamer.
Yeah,
I wish that was its own track. I would
I
listen
had
to that a
I
lot.
had the same thought.
Yeah, and Rusty, great song, great energy, great
Classic.
verses from Damo and Earl. It's like it's probably Tyler's best rap verse on any of the first three albums. Like his verse on Rusty is
Yep.
so
Yep.
good. It's like 2 minutes long. Tamale, one of my favorite Tyler songs. Like it just goes so hard in a car. That's just a banger. Tamale bangs so hard. Like it's hard to hate that song. I also mentioned there's still songs like Trash Wang on here that are just like bad. I don't know why they're here, but it's clearly just like a bunch of kids having fun. So I don't really hold it against them, but like take Trash Wang off the album. We don't need it. It's just not good. Even though Goblin means more to me personally as a person, Wolf is technically better. Production,
I was gonna say
lyrical
there's no way,
content,
right?
song structures, features. Wolf is better
Yeah.
in basically every way. I have it at an 8.0.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think the reason I have it ranked so much higher, like a whole point higher, is because, like you said, it's better in every way
It
than
is.
Goblin. So
I got, well, real quick, Jamba, Damo 23, 48, Rusty, and Tamale, I guess, are my top five. I try to write down the songs that I think are the best, but I mean, Wolf is really a strong album, I think. I'm at an
yeah,
8, yeah.
it's the start of his, introspection when it comes to music. You know what I'm saying? He starts to get more serious on songs like Cowboy, talk about how his grandma died from cancer, saying that money isn't making him happy, or his friends ain't taking the shit serious. You know what I'm saying? Or, he ends good sequencing too because he ends the album with Lone at the passing of his grandma. So it's a good album, bro. It's a good album.
Yeah, Wolf is good. Where does it go on the tier list? A? That's why I feel
Yeah,
like these two should
yeah.
be C and this should be B, personally.
Well, I think Goblin should be C. Wolf would probably be B for me.
Yeah, because I would do that.
Well, I would. I think I might put Wolf A, but
You think?
guys, yeah, that's how it would be for. I would put Goblin C, bro. Bastards B and Wolf's A,
You
bro.
don't get to just decide, though.
That's just how I feel, though.
I feel I would do the opposite. I would do that.
Okay, then yeah,
That's why
both
I'm
B
leaving
then.
them on the same, because
Yeah,
we
that's fine.
think they should be flipped, so they just go on the same
I
tier. And I'm
think
putting Bastard ahead.
Wolf
So.
deserves to be A though. It's like that turning point in his career. The concept's solid. Some bad songs, but yeah,
I mean, yeah, like in basically every aspect, Wolf is a step up, and it's like I think it holds up. Like it's pretty good still. I think.
yeah. There's some decent songs.
Okay.
Some good songs. Rusty.
I mean, there's bangers on here. Like Rusty was so huge when it came out. Like the music video, I love Rusty still. Like it's so good. But after Wolf was Cherry Bomb, a very controversial Tyler album. It's a lot of mixed reviews online. So, oh wait, real quick, Wolf on Metacritic is a 7.7.
Wow.
Forgot
I'm
to give you that.
literally right on.
Yeah. So
Normally
yeah,
drained.
Tyler the Creator, Cherry Bomb. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's tough to say that Tyler didn't up his prior album. You know what I'm saying? Even with Wolf. At least on the production level, you know what I'm saying? The feature list is stacked. And I mean, it's kind of like Untitled Unmastered for me in the sense that it's just a pure, like, show of musical skill. Might feel like it's not throwaways because it is like a cohesive studio album, but at the same time, I feel like it's almost experimental, and it kind of is. It's another turning point. I feel like in Tyler's career where he starts to turn more musical and more production heavy than focus on his edgy or offensive lyrics. So I feel like that's this turning point where he kind of matures musically. So it was good. You got the eccentric in your face intro with Death Kent, got the heavy electric guitar with the good Tyler rapping. Again, I feel like the Tyler rapping takes another step forward in this album. I feel like it's better than it is on Wolf. Uh, yeah, the feature list is stacked. Um, it's not maybe as put together of a readable concept as Wolf. It has not only one of his best songs with Smuckers, the Lil Wayne and Kanye collab on a Tyler song is iconic, but some of the most impressive production throughout at this point of Tyler's career throughout the whole album with the voice modification from the eccentric to the upbeat to slower, more soulful, more meaningful lyrics to the more ignorant lyrics. It just felt like, a pure show of talent, great show of talent throughout the whole thing. Very few skips for me. There was one or two in there. I forget the one that was like, okay, this is a skip, but some great songs. Two seater, I thought was great. Keep the O's is probably my favorite. Smuckers obviously is on there. Run, you got the crazy production, and then you got songs on there like Find Your Wings, like that also kind of marks this point in his career where it's like, okay, I'm gonna kind of take a step forward musically. It feels like, and kind of accept that I have to move forward. At least that's what it feels like for me. So yeah, solid.
I feel like we listened to different albums.
It's crazy, right?
I fucking hate Cherry Bomb so much. It's literally unlistenable to me.
How?
Like, okay, Death Camp, so bad, I fucking hate it. Buffalo was a little
It's not
better,
that
still
bad.
did not like it. Like, there's a couple moments I liked on Two Seater and the Brown Stains of Darkies, but then it just like devolves into super loud,
You
hectic,
didn't keep the
literally hard
O's.
to listen to. Like, I
Yeah,
just, huh?
you ain't like keep the O's.
No, the only
What?
salvageable song on here is Smuckers. I
Nah,
fucking hate
bro.
every other song. I
You're
really do.
tripping.
A majority of the songs on Cherry Bomb are straight up unlistenable. The production is insanely hectic and loud. Like, it's just not sonically good to the ears. Like, I just don't like the sound of it.
Wait. I don't mean to interrupt you, but that just makes me think like, what's better to you about Vulture's 2 production or this production?
Vultures too, bro.
Oh,
Fuck Cherry
dude.
Bomb. I
No
hate it.
way,
I
dude.
really hate it.
That's crazy. All right, go on.
I love Tyler, the creator, but Cherry Bomb is definitely a skip. I will not go back to this. I made a playlist of Tyler, the creator music. When listening to all these albums, the only song from Cherry Bomb on there is Smuckers, because that is a banger. I love Smuckers. It's one of Tyler's best songs, but it's the only saving grace on Cherry Bomb to me. It's like Tyler's first 3 albums were great, and Cherry Bomb was so fucking bad that he's like, I gotta switch everything up. And on my way to Flower Boy. Like this, I can't do this again. We're making Flower Boy next. I hated Cherry Bomb. I even listened to it twice. I was like, I maybe I'm missing something. It's literally just unlistenable. It hits my ears wrong. I don't like it at all. I gave it a 3.4.
There's no way, dude.
Smuckers is the only song that I'll ever listen to again on this. Like, I don't like it. Like, I don't know how you listened to, like, Death Camp and liked it. That makes no sense to me.
I mean, it wasn't my favorite on the album, but
Smuckers is the only
Cherry
good song,
Bomb,
in my opinion.
Cherry Bomb is the only one that was, like, egregiously bad.
Yeah, like, I thought this was, like, a pain to listen to. Like, I did not enjoy it at all.
I gave it a 7.5, so I gave it the same as Wolf.
That's literally
I felt like
insane.
it was.
That makes
I felt
no
like
sense.
it was better Tyler rapping.
No.
It was arguably better production, more eccentric, more fucking. It was the first step in Tyler stepping out of the box, not doing the same old shit. It was him fucking trying new shit.
Yeah,
so.
but better no. Like it's just loud.
Not only
and messy
eccentric,
and too much going on.
Yeah, but only a few of the songs were like that. Not all the songs were like that.
I think most of them were. Or if they
he had the voice
modification
like to match the vibes of each song. It was really him just like proving himself as a producer. It felt like, and him taking a step forward musically. I felt like it was nothing serious like the first few, and I felt like it was a kind of gracious transition. You know, I'm talking like from Wolf to Flower Boy. I felt like it was a good transition. So.
I mean, this is
Maybe
definitely his worst project. He's even said that. Like, this is not a good album.
Nah,
Cherry
bro.
Bomb is a skip.
There's no way he said that it's his worst.
Yeah, he did. He says it on the next album that he doesn't like the way Cherry Bomb sounds. He hates it. It's not good.
He doesn't say it's worse, though.
He says it's not good.
Okay, you don't think he says Goblin's not good?
No, I don't think that. Because Cherry Bomb is straight up bad.
Nah.
I would put this in F tier. Straight up. I hate this album. I'll never listen to it again.
There's no way, bro. What?
I fucking hate it so much. I really do. It's unlistenable to me.
That's crazy.
It's just so loud and hectic. I listened to it with headphones on once. I listened to it a second time in the car, and I just fucking hate it. It doesn't sound good.
I thought it sounded good. Except for Cherry Bomb was the only skip.
Listen, because I don't know how you could listen to this and like it.
Go to any song right now and play it and tell me it sounds super fucking hectic and unlistenable. That's not Cherry Bomb, the title track.
I think Smuckers is the only song that I like even a little bit.
Dude, Keep the O's. How is that unlistenable or hectic at all?
I don't remember all the specifics. I didn't write that one down specifically, so maybe that one's not as bad. But Smuckers is the only song that I like and will listen to again. Like, I just don't like it at all. I hate this album so much. It's one of my least favorite albums of all time.
So how are we going to do this?
I mean, I would put it in F.
I can't put it in F.
And F doesn't even exist. But like,
it's better.
I think it's so
literally
bad.
Better Tyler rapping. It's a step forward in production. It's a step somewhere.
Cherry Bomb is not better than Bastard.
It's a step outside in production. It's better than Goblin for me, for sure. Because there's not a song on Goblin, or there's not a song on fucking Cherry Bomb that's like even egregious as 3-4 of the songs on Goblin. Let's be real. Like, Cherry Bomb, the title track, is the only egregious song on Cherry Bomb. And there's like 4 or 5 egregious songs on Goblin that are like, okay, this is actually unlistenable.
I mean, I guess we can put it up there with Goblin and Bastard if you think it's better than those, and I think it's way worse. But I
guess, yeah.
I would put this here. Like, I really fucking hate it.
Bro, it's not.
I don't think anyone that listens to this can honestly say that they like it. Like, it's just not good. I love Tyler, and I love every other album here, but Cherry Bomb, I just can't do.
I like it. All right, let's move on. Come on.
That is, I don't know. I thought you were going to just absolutely hate that album.
Nah, Goblin's his worst album.
Cherry Bomb's the worst album that's ever been made. Literally, I feel
it's not that bad, dude. You're tripping. I think Vultures 2 was way more offensive.
I would listen to that 20 times before I'd listen to Cherry Bomb. 100%.
Dude, you're tripping. That one Lil Wayne verse on Vultures 2 is literally 100 times worse than anything I listened to on Cherry Bomb. Period.
I mean,
Hundred
I'll try
percent,
it
bro.
again this week, but I really
Definitely
hated
do.
it.
I mean, the only bad track to me was the title track, but
I don't know. I mean, we can put it on
a
par with.
3 is crazy.
I raised that too. I did a 2.9.
No, that's
I
crazy.
hated it so much. Like I don't know. Maybe there's just something broken inside of me that I can't be happy anymore. But I
All right,
fucking
all
hated
right.
it. It was so bad, dude. Damn. But all
All
right.
right.
Well, now things kind of take a turn here in the
Well,
career of Tyler the
no,
Creator.
they took a turn. I think you missed it, bro. They took a
No,
turn with Cherry Bomb.
Cherry Bomb and Flower Boy sound like two completely different artists made the music.
Yeah, but it's a transition. You don't think Goblin and fucking Flower Boy sound different? Of course they do. The
Yeah,
transition is Cherry Bomb.
I think Cherry Bomb stands out and is like he would take it off his discography if he could.
And there's some important messaging in Cherry Bomb too, so. But all right, let's move on.
So you're telling me starting at Flower Boy, there's not a big change in what we're about to see from Tyler?
Well, yeah, of course. This is okay.
Because that's
Cherry
what I
Bomb's
just
like
said.
okay, so if you're starting a race, Cherry Bomb is like get ready. You know what I'm saying? Or set. Like you're kneeling down to go, and then like when you start the race, this is it. When the gun fires, this is when the race starts.
I
I
think
don't know
if
if
you
that was a good
removed,
analogy.
I think if you remove Cherry Bomb, Tyler has one of the strongest discographies, but it weighs it down a lot for me.
Okay, all right, let's
Like
get
I
into
don't
it.
know. There's just okay. Next, after Cherry Bomb, is Flower Boy, maybe his most critically acclaimed album. By the way, Cherry Bomb, I keep forgetting this, 6.6 on Metacritic. So people don't hate it as much as me. I'm clearly alone here, but
I'm overrating it apparently to the critics this time. So
yeah, you're too high on Cherry Bomb. That's what we
I don't
just
know. I don't
learned.
think I am, bro. But all right.
But all right, Tyler the Creator, Flower Boy, that's the next one. So like right when you start Flower Boy, I feel like you can tell that this is going to be in a different experience than the previous Tyler projects. Just like the atmosphere and the vibe and the production, like you can tell it's going to be like a different album than you're used to. It's like a much more musical production style. There's a lot of use of like real instruments in the production. It's not just like garage band 808s and stuff. Like there's real effort and thought being put into the production. The features on this album super strong. Frank Ocean is on here, and he's actually the only original Odd Future member on Flower Boy. No Domo, no Hodgy, no Jasper, just Frank Ocean. He's the only one. So I mean that's kind of sad, but like I think that makes
It's
sense
just the
when you're
vibe of the
trying to
album.
evolve. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad that they're not here personally, but it is kind of like sad. It's just like oh, Tyler's going on his own. Even though it's a much more musical album, like production wise, and comparing to Tyler's other albums, there's still like a lot of rap elements and even full blown rap songs like I Ain't Got Time, Who Dat Boy with ASAP Rocky. So you do get like a much more musical production, but it's still a rap album, I would say. The last minute of the song Garden Shed is like super good. I wish the whole song was like that because the beginning's like 2 minutes of like slow melodic production, and then the last minute is like banging rap burst. So I just thought that was weird. I really like that song. I would pay a lot of money for a longer cut of Dropping Seeds. That's only a minute long. I would pay thousands of dollars for that to be a longer song.
Yeah, that's sad.
Flower Boy is definitely, in my opinion, Tyler like really taking the next step musically, production wise, and it's like a super high level production. He's clearly involved. There's like a lot of diversity in sound, a lot of instruments used, and he's like, I think this is the most mature that we've seen Tyler. I mean, that makes sense. We're aging up. He's becoming an adult, but like this is like Tyler really coming into like full form Tyler the Creator in my opinion. I think this album is like straight up like a beautiful album from Tyler. It's basically every song is great, even though it's clearly better than Goblin or anything he's done before. I'm still glad like Goblin and Bastard and Wolf and Cherry Bomb exist, but Flower Boy is the one to me. Like I love this album so much. I guess some of my favorites, Who Dat Boy. I think that's the ASAP Rocky one, right? I love that song. Boredom, I love. I Ain't Got Time is like just like a crazy high energy rap song. November, I really liked. There's a lot of really good songs on here. I think Apple made the right call picking this as the Tyler album to go on the top 100 albums of all time list. I love Flower Boy, straight up. I loved it. It's
Yeah,
so
I
good.
mean, the trend continued, you know what I'm saying? Because it's his best album to date, at least at that point, you know what I'm saying? It's his most meaningful piece, obviously. You could tell just by the title and the album cover. But where it feels like it comes all full circle, like you said, like this is the moment where it all comes full circle. Tyler completely killed off the bastard alter ego and has moved on to a new musical person. And it is interesting because like the first few albums, you know, the bastard, the goblin, the wolf, there's a heavy Eminem influence and you can't even deny it at all. And then it feels like he almost takes like a he's like, all right, I'm kind of done with Eminem influence and I want to go like Kanye influence, because these next few albums really feel like inspired by the heavy production, you know, experimental sound kind of vibes. And you know, I feel like Tyler's kind of a mix of two rappers for me, and those are the two. So he starts to go into his Kanye era, you know, it feels like. But from the bastard punchlines, you know what I'm saying, which are reminiscent in this album, you know, you still get a few here and there, uh, to the high quality, unique, thoughtful, skillful performances in rapping and production throughout the album. You got the thoughtful to the ignorant when it comes to the lyrical content. Who Dat Boy to November, you know what I'm saying, to a completely different song. So the variation is good. Great features, you know what I'm saying. It leaves you wanting more. And like you said, it really is a beautiful album. Uh, Sadly, the Lil Wayne verse on Dropping Seeds is only a minute. You got 9/11 Lonely, which is obviously a highlight of the album. Great rapping, great production. Yeah, bro. Great album.
What do you think this is rated on Metacritic? It's Apple's whatever number 30 best album of all time or whatever it was on the list. It's in the top 100. Where do you think this is at Metacritic? What's the score online, the consensus?
Well, I gave it an 8, so let's say 8.3.
It's 8.6. I gave this a 9.4.
Okay. See, yeah, you're shooting high, bro. You're shooting way high.
I mean,
But
this is my favorite Tyler album. Like
yeah,
this is basically a perfect album to me. I want to put this in S tier, 100%.
yeah, no. I mean, I'm saying you're shooting high, but I mean, it is what it is to you. You know what I'm saying? I felt like this is definitely a great album. It's the most introspective piece, definitely from him. It is that step forward. It's where he matures as a musician and as, you know, an artist. So,
What'd you give
yeah,
Cherry Bomb?
a 7.5,
And what'd you give this?
an 8.
Yeah, that just is wrong.
Not to me, bro.
To
I
have
don't
this
know.
half a point higher than
Bro,
Cherry Bomb, that makes no sense.
how can it only be 2 fucking points higher than songs or albums with songs like Radical and fucking Bitch Suck Dick on it?
I have this at a 9.4. I have this by far the highest out of any
I'm
album.
saying though,
What do you mean? I don't know what you're asking.
it's not. Cherry Bomb is not as bad as you think it is.
I mean, I think this is better than you think. An 8 is crazy.
An
Like
eight, yeah.
I definitely would want to put this in S tier, 100%. This is so much better than Wolf and all the other ones. Like
Okay.
this is pinnacle Tyler. This is the
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
You're
agree
probably
though.
right. I don't know. I feel like. I mean, we
Like
got two more to talk about, but
I think that deserves to be a tier above Wolf,
I
you
guess I
know?
wasn't making like, yeah, 8 out of 10 for all rap albums. 10, yeah, but
So you want it to be
yeah,
like
it's
that.
tough though, because it really is the start. It's like the start of his new career, so it's tough. I feel like they're, you know, Call Me If You Get Lost and Igor are arguably on the same level to me, or slightly better. So yeah,
I think this is as close to a perfect album as I can think of.
but yeah, I haven't. This is his best up, you know, to date. I said so. Yeah, if it's a Tyler tier list, then yeah, it's S.
And then you want to move Goblin to C.
I would.
Okay, I'll compromise with you there because Flower Boy is an S tier album. It's like basically perfect. There's
Well,
not a
yeah, that's.
bad song on
I'm
Flower
putting
Boy.
8 out of 10 on the grand scale of all hip hop. Not. I
So am
guess I
I.
didn't think about that.
So am I.
9.5,
9.4. Yeah, this is a perfect album to me.
bro. What?
Yeah,
This all right?
this is I'm
No,
confused
that's
as to what
fair.
you're looking for here. To
I'm
put
not looking
Cherry
for.
Bomb at 7.5 and
I'm.
that at an 8
There was
just
just no.
doesn't compute
There's
for
just
me.
not a lot of rapping. You know what I'm saying? Which I guess is fine, but it's just.
I mean,
I don't know. What do you mean?
compared to the next one we're going to
What do you
talk
want me to
about,
say?
it's full of rapping. Igor has no rapping.
It's- well, okay. Let's move on then.
Am I? I mean, what are you talking about? Igor has
There's a
no
little
rap
bit.
songs.
Okay, but I'm not. I didn't. I wasn't sitting here saying like Igor's a lot better either.
You said it was a little better.
I didn't say that even. I said maybe.
Okay, well, let me know what you think about Igor, because that's
Okay,
next.
there's some great songs on here. Some of my favorite like modern era Tyler songs. You got Earthquake, obviously, which is his like major blow up.
I guess I wasn't. That's probably his number one most streamed song. Though,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Earthquake by
It's
a
like his
lot.
super major blow up.
Yeah.
But some of my like favorites are like Running Out of Time. I think is just an amazing song, and I think is almost like early Kanye reminiscence. Like I feel like this is this is maybe the highest production level album from him. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is great. Good pop punk sound on a few of the songs, and he still toes the line between offensive and meaningful. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting and really doesn't stop throughout Tyler's career. So I think it's great. I think he definitely takes a few steps forward in production on this album. Like you said, there's obviously not much rapping, which is what it is. He's not, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
It was
But
controversial when he won the best rap album for Igor because he's like, it's not a rap album. You're just doing that because I'm black.
I
If you
mean, there's a
guys remember when that happened, yeah.
right. I mean, there is a few verses, but it's not like, yeah.
I mean, you remember when that happened? He won best rap album, and he like was talking a bunch of shit about the
No, I
Grammys
don't.
because they're like, you just give me the best rap album because I'm black. I should have won best R&B album for this. Like,
Oh, okay.
it was like a big
Yeah,
thing.
because it's obviously more of a singy type, album.
Yeah, like I
And
wouldn't categorize this as
same
a
as
rap
Flower
album.
Boy, but there's also I feel like there's more reminiscence of the early Tyler on Flower Boy. It's like him completely killing it, and then Igor is just like him completely new. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
yeah,
Completely started over.
old Tyler's
So
gone at this point. Yeah.
yeah, old Tyler is gone, and now he's like heavy production, like super high tier production is what I'm getting now from Igor, and it really sets the standard for what we expect now from Tyler. So yeah, go ahead.
What you named the songs you liked? Earthquake and I Think, right? Those were the
Well,
two you named.
Earthquake is like his blowing up moment, but I
Oh.
think is one of the best and Running Out of Time
I
for
mean, I
me.
like Earthquake though.
Yeah, no, me too. Me
Like,
too.
it's a good song. Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
a pleb it's like a normie answer though, so I wanted to give like other answers.
yeah, but it is good. Like, things are
Yeah.
popular because they're good usually.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, Igor's like a even more soft and upbeat album than Flower Boy is. It's almost like a full pop R&B album from Tyler that really focuses on the production over everything else. Like that was clearly what he put the most thought and effort into, was just like the production side of things, which I can appreciate. Tyler's dark and raspy rap verses are completely like replaced by softly sung hooks and summery soul samples, which he did do some of on Flower Boy. But yeah, he's like really leaning into that vibe on Igor. He also continues to mature and open up about his personal life and his feelings on Igor, which I would kind of describe the album as like a album full of like love slash breakup songs. Like it's really him getting into his feelings, and like it's great to see Tyler mature as a person. Like to know what Tyler was when he was 17 to Igor is like, it's just, you'd never could have
It is
guessed that.
crazy. It is crazy.
You never could have guessed it. I do miss some of the like dark humor and abrasiveness and aggressiveness that we're used to from Tyler, but it's like, I think it's great that he's getting super involved in the production because he's like clearly like great at it, one of our generation's best. So like I appreciate that, but I do at points when listening to it like, man, I wish he was just saying some like fucked up ignorant shit on here. Like, that's just like, you miss that when it's not there. Igor is definitely an impressive accomplishment though, since Tyler made a really, really strong album that had zero to very little rap elements. But I do think, like, comparing it to Flower Boy, it does fall kind of flat to me. Like, I personally think Flower Boy is a better, full, more complete, interesting album, even though it might not be as involved production
It's
wise. Like,
interesting.
Flower Boy is a better album than Igor. Like I don't get why people like Igor more. It doesn't make sense to me. But I just think Flower Boy, you get Tyler getting super involved in the production. You get all the instruments and the musicality, but you still have rapping and the aggressiveness and the funny lines. And like, I just feel like Flower Boy is like the perfect culmination of everything that I love about Tyler. So I guess maybe that's why I still like
Yeah,
Igor.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like, I do think Igor's a really good album, even though it's not. I wouldn't describe it as a rap album. I prefer Flower Boy though. There's just like so many obvious highlights on Flower Boy. I just love it so much. And I do think Igor would grow on me more over time as I listen to it and listen to it. But as of right now, I have Igor at an 8.0 and I have Flower Boy at a 9.4. Igor is rated a 9.0 on Metacritic, his highest rated album by the general public. What did you give me a number score for
I
Igor?
didn't. I actually didn't. I forgot to write one down. I guess though, I would put it low eight, probably about 8.2.
Okay,
I think slightly better than Flower Boy, just because I prefer the production. I feel like it takes a step up even further. I feel like genuinely he gets better with every single album in this. It didn't stop. It didn't stop with Flower Boy. I feel like Igor is even better when it comes to production.
I mean,
Um,
maybe, yeah, when it comes to production, I would agree, but Flower
but yeah,
Boy
like
just
you said,
has
there's no
those
real
elements
rapping.
that I want from
Yeah,
Tyler, you know? Like, I just love Flower Boy so much. But yeah, Earthquake, New Magic Wand, A Boy
no
is a
magic
Gun,
wand.
Puppet. Like, there's a lot of good songs on here. I do like it a lot. I just prefer Flower Boy, personally. Like, they're both
Yeah.
great, though. Like, I get
Similar,
why people love it.
similar albums to me. Yeah,
Yeah, like I do understand why people love it, but like if I had to get rid of one, 1,000 times out of 1,000, I'm getting rid of Igor and I'm keeping Flower
yeah.
Boy.
I don't know. I might get rid of Flower Boy.
But
I,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I would. I guess.
But if I'm keeping one album out of Tyler's discography, it's Flower Boy. Even though I love Goblin, I'm keeping Flower Boy. But
I
where
don't
does it
know.
go on the
Yeah.
tier list though? Because
For me, it's S.
S. Because I would either put it here or above Wolf in A, high A or low S. So I guess if you want to, yeah. So I guess
What
there
would you
then.
give it?
I gave it a 8.0. Yeah, I gave it an 8.
I mean, yeah.
And you gave it
You
an
gave
8
Flower
too.
Boy a very high score. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, if you want Igor to be up there with Flower Boy, I'm not opposed to it. I would just
I
personally
think
put it
there's
in A
similar.
above Wolf.
Yeah, I think it's maybe slightly better. So I probably would, but it's up to you.
I mean, yeah, we could leave it there or put it here, whatever you think makes more sense.
Up to you, bro. Probably the top.
All right, I think we should leave it there
All right.
because it's clearly the public's favorite. So maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
maybe.
I think Flower Boy is more interesting and fun to listen to and has more exciting highs and I don't know. Flower Boy is just like basically perfect to me. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be
and I guess to explain, like, I just feel like for the route he's trying to go, production heavy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he kind of mastered it on Igor,
yeah.
so that's
Just
why I
when
maybe
I'm
prefer it.
like for me, like I don't want just an album that's just focused on R&B production. Like I
Yeah,
want
but
rap
maybe you
verses.
do
So,
because like an 808s and Heartbreaks, like a graduation type album, but
but
those
I
still
wouldn't
had
put
rapping.
those above the college dropout or late registration either. Like I would put 808s after those personally.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a different tier list, but yeah. All
I
right.
mean, yeah, but I prefer Flower Boy, but I do love Igor. It's definitely really good. I'm just surprised. I'm not really surprised, but that's his highest rated by the public. He
It
won
makes sense to me.
He won Rap Album of the Year Grammy for Igor, which is not a rap album, which does seem kind of racist coded, but you know, it is what it is.
The production is very high level. I'll say that.
All right, well, that brings us to the album that just came out last year,
2 years.
2023. It was 2023, wasn't it?
Oh,
Or no, that's the
no.
estate sale. You're right.
Yeah,
Call Me
yeah,
If You
yeah.
Get Lost. The original came out in 2022. We got a deluxe in
21.
2023. Really?
21. It's
Damn,
been
that's crazy.
now
Because the deluxe was
3
just
years.
last year.
I
So
think it was 21. I'll double check, but go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
no, I want to get the day right. The deluxe was last year. I think you're right. The original release was 2021. Call Me If You Get Lost. They had a big rollout. This was a big
Yep.
deal when it came out. He did like a bunch of music videos and little short films and stuff. But yeah, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, again, arguably Tyler's best project now to date because it is his current project. I love the DJ drama production, the features. Wayne on all these Tyler albums just kills his verse every time.
We see a lot of
42
Wayne
Doug.
through this
Yeah,
discography. Yeah,
yeah, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Wayne's my favorite rapper of all time, arguably. So got him going crazy. 42 Doug, who I think maybe is kind of underrated. Young boy on there spitting. Uzi, who had a great verse, all great. Maybe the best 3-track run of his career with What's Your Name, Lumberjack, and Hot Wind Blows.
it's up
Great
there.
rapping and production throughout the whole project. It felt like proof that he could continue to make great music in so many different lanes. You know what I'm saying? He can take the braggadocious, more ignorant, cocky lane, or he can take the sentimental, heartfelt, production heavy. He can do the rap heavy. He can do it all. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of felt like a statement of that, and a statement that he's one of the best in the game. Great Domo feature, which felt like another roundabout moment, full circle moment.
That's on
Good feel,
Manifesto, I
hard
believe.
spitting. Run it up. The Domo feature I liked on Run It Up. I think there's probably a couple,
Okay, because
but
I think he's on Manifesto too. Maybe I'm tripping.
yeah. And then I talk about that 3 to 6 track run. Yeah, great features. It's just and the great production. It's more like a trap sound almost
Hmm.
style production throughout the album, which I like. It's a good sound for Tyler, and I felt like maybe he took a step back in production in this one and focused on rapping a little bit more, which I enjoyed and do prefer slightly. So yeah, I fuck with it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a more contemporary sounding album comparatively to Igor, of course. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's much more rap focused and centered than Igor. It's crazy how different, like, from Bastard all the way to Call Me If You Get Lost, we are spanning 15
Yep,
years basically here. Like, all these albums sound so different. He does so many different things, but as soon as you hear it, you're like, this is a Tyler album. Like, it's crazy that he can do all these
he got
different
that
sounds, but
unique sound. Yep,
yeah, it's like it's all clearly Tyler's music, which is like great. Still a lot of great experimental production on Call Me If You Get Lost, but there's just like a lot more rap elements than on Igor, as we've both said. It's like I feel like Tyler learned a lot making Flower Boy and Igor on the production side of things. Then he took everything he learned and made like a contemporary rap album, but used all of those elements that he learned on the production side from the previous two. So like that's kind of how I read this. Like he learned a lot making the last two, and he kind of combined that, but went back and focused on the rapping a little bit, like you said. So like I do really like that. This is also the most braggadocious Tyler we've seen, talking about how great he is and cars and money, which we never really heard from him before. So it's like fun to hear Tyler just like get into that bag a little bit and just have fun talking shit on a rap song. Um, Igor was so soft spoken, but we get the aggressive and funny Tyler back on this. Like, so if you miss that on Igor, you get it back here, but you still get the great, deep musical production. The features on this album, like you mentioned, I think like almost all of them really showed out here. 42 Doug, Young Boy, Ty Dolla Sign, Lil Wayne, Tizo Touchdown, Domo Genesis, Uzi, Pharrell Williams, Vince Staples, ASAP Rocky, and more. Those are just the main ones, but
yeah,
a lot
crazy
of
stack feature list, bro, and they
stacked
all went
feature list.
crazy.
Yeah, they did. There's not really a bad feature. I guess you could say 42 Doug's is the worst, but it's still good. So it's
Yeah, I
like there are
like
no
it.
bad ones. There's really not. Wilshire is literally an 8-minute storytelling rap song, and it's fire. Like the whole thing is just him like rapping a story for 8 minutes, but it's so good. I didn't get
Yeah,
bored
I
of it,
was
and it's an
listening
eight
to it. I
minute
was
song.
like, damn, how long is this song? And it was like, okay, I'm like vibing with it though. Like,
Yeah,
it's not too annoying, so that's good.
yeah. You don't get like big breaks of instrumental or whatever. Like he's rapping for like 8 minutes. But the nice part is the majority of the songs on Call Me If You Get Lost are under 3 minutes. So like maybe on certain Tyler albums where you're like, damn, there's a lot of long ass songs on here. That's not the case on this. Most of them, I think there's only 3 songs that go over 3 minutes. So like that's kind of crazy actually. But yeah, really good album. I think the first 9 songs on Call Me If You Get Lost are basically perfect. Like the first 9, I think are like you can't get much better than that. There's a couple tracks I'm whatever about in the middle, and then the last few tracks are great. And then in 2023, 2 years later, we get 8 new songs, which are basically all good. That includes an ASAP Rocky verse or a feature, a Vince Staples feature, a YG feature. Overall, I don't really have any complaints about this album. Like, I think it's really strong, really great. In my personal rankings, I would put this at number 2 in Tyler's discography. I would go Flower Boy, then Call Me If You Get Lost. Like, those would be my
Yeah.
personal rankings. But yeah, I got Lumberjack, Hot Wind Blows, Manifesto, Juggernaut as like some of my favorites, but the first 9 are basically perfect, and there's like 15 great songs on here. I have this at an 8.8. It's an 8.4 on Metacritic.
Yeah, see, I'm tied up here because I don't know if it's better or if I like it better than Igor for me.
You
It's about the same because I do really love Igor and the production on it,
so
but
Igor's your favorite Tyler album.
it's tough to say. It's one of these two. Call Me If You Get Lost or Igor is one of my favorite. Um,
I'm just surprised as a rap fan that Igor's your favorite. I would put that at
yeah.
like 4
Look,
for
bro,
me.
I just like good music, but
Because I would go Flower Boy, Call Me If You
well,
Get Lost,
that's
Wolf,
why
and
this
then
one's
Igor.
contending. That's why this one's contending because I feel like this is his best like purely rap album maybe. Um, I'd probably put Igor 8.5, this 8.3. So
So
S for me.
I feel like you don't want it there. You want it on the other side of Igor.
I would personally, yeah.
I'm surprised. Like with the feature list, like I feel like this is what you would want out of your ideal Tyler album. I'm surprised
Yeah,
this isn't your favorite.
it is
Like,
up there, but like I feel like there was a little bit left to be had on the production side. Like I did like DJ Drama's production, but I feel like maybe if Tyler took all of the reins and did all the production and really mastered it, maybe like it's a great album. I'm not trying to talk shit, but yeah, that's the reason.
but we're not just rating production. Like I can agree with
Yeah,
you
I
that
know.
Igor maybe has the best production, but as an album as a whole and a listening experience, like I just think these are clearly
It's
both
up
better
there
than
for sure.
Igor. But
I don't know. I don't know
like
about that.
I would do that.
Because I also like short, concise projects that have good songs. Like I also always don't need a concept. Igor's kind of like my 808s vibe, so that's where I'm at.
Okay, so in the S tier, we have Flower Boy, Igor, and Call Me If You Get Lost. Not really a big surprise there. Those are
No,
3 great albums,
yeah,
generally accepted by the public as great albums. They're fucking amazing. We have Wolf in A, which I do think is the best old school Tyler album, if that's
yeah,
how you
I
want to
agree.
describe it.
I agree.
We have Bastard and Cherry Bomb in B, even though I fucking hate Cherry Bomb. I
Nah,
would
that
put it
makes
in
sense to
D.
me.
And then
Nah,
we have Goblin in C. I would
yeah,
personally put Goblin in B with Bastard and
nah.
move Cherry Bomb to C, but you know, I just fucking hate Cherry
Yeah.
Bomb. I really do. I'm never going back to it.
That's the right list to me. That
S-
looks right.
Smuckers, I'll listen to Smuckers, but like, yeah, I'll never listen to any other song on Cherry Bomb ever again. I fucking hate it. That's just how I feel. Fuck that album, dude.
Word.
It's so
Now that
bad.
was solid though. That was solid.
I mean, okay, so just for the shits and giggles, if you had to give a number score out of 10 or 100 for Tyler's discography as a whole,
Whole discography.
1 to 10, how do you
Well,
rate his
I'm a
discography as a
horror.
whole?
All right. I was being very critical with these number ratings, but I like horrorcore and I fucked with all that shit. So that shit's pretty good. And then he took a good solid turn, maybe probably one of the best. You know, with Mac Miller up there. What's the word I'm looking for? Evolutions as an artist. So
Never before seen him.
probably
Like
like
I
an 85, bro. 90,
I'm at
85.
87.
Yeah,
I think if you average all my album scores, you maybe get like an 81 because I
which
do
is
have Cherry
crazy.
Bomb super low, but
Cause
as
like
a
yeah, I'm
whole,
not averaging my scores.
yeah, me
That's not
neither.
me averaging. That's just his discography
Yeah,
rounded up as a whole.
exactly. I'm
The
at like an
grade.
8.7, 8.5, and so are you. I mean, Tyler's one of the best of our generation. He
Yeah.
has 3 S tier albums, and they're the most recent 3, and the old ones
His
aren't bad.
okay. I'll make this clear though. They're S tier in his discography.
What does
Like
that mean?
they're not like the best out. They're not S tier rap albums.
So yeah, see, to me, Flower Boy and Call Me If You Get Lost are. That's how I'm
See,
rating
like
these.
it's
I'm not
tough to
rating these
say.
based on Tyler's
Nah,
music. I would give Flower Boy a 9.4 against any album. Like it's a
nah.
9.4
I
in
rated them
general.
on Tyler's music, so maybe next
You
time.
rate shit so bizarrely.
How
What does
would
that
you
even
not?
mean? What does that mean? As
Why?
a
How are you?
Tyler album?
Okay. Yes.
What does that mean?
So you think?
So how would you
Let
rate
me
it as
get
a
this
regular
straight.
album? I don't
You
get the
think
difference.
Goblin is a B tier rap album?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Goblin
All
at
right,
a,
guys.
what,
We'll be back
7.6?
next week.
I have Goblin at a 7.6, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's and I have Wolf at
Yeah.
an 8. I have Flower Boy at 9.4.
Crazy, dude.
I think there's very few albums that I would put over Flower Boy. I couldn't really name any right now besides Eminem.
You can't
albums.
name any rap albums that are better than Flower Boy.
Besides like Eminem
Okay.
and Kanye.
How
no,
many
not
albums
really.
would have to be better than Flower Boy to be, to consider it A tier?
Give me some albums. I'll tell you if I like Flower Boy better.
MMLP.
I would take that. MMLP.
Okay. Let's just
That's
go
like a
through Eminem's
9.9.
discography, though.
Well,
Relapse.
yeah, Eminem, not Eminem.
Okay. Relapse.
I'd put that on par.
Same tier. Okay. What about, let's go Slim Shady LP.
You're naming my 3 favorite albums.
But
of all time.
who else okay, let's go Kanye. Like, we're talking S tier albums. We're talking about the greatest rap albums of all time.
I think Flower Boy's up there.
That's S tier.
Yeah, Flower Boy's up there with those in my opinion.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
100%. Like, I'm just rating it, like, out of 10, how good do I think this is? If he
Okay,
handed
we'll
me
talk-
Flower Boy
all
as a
right,
homework
okay, all right.
assignment, I'm giving him a 94.
Okay.
Straight up. Like, Flower Boy's a perfect album to me, basically.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, if that came out this year, that's definitely my number 1 album of the year. Out of any album that's come out this year,
but
Flower Boy beats all the albums on our list of this year, to me.
It's not a good.
We Don't
Okay.
Trust You, I'd take Flower Boy over that all day. The Death of Slim
but
Shady,
also-
I'm taking Flower Boy.
All right.
You're taking We Don't Trust You over Flower Boy?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, you gave We Don't Trust You like a 9.
I gave it like an 8.7 or something. So I probably would. Look, maybe I would.
I'm just saying,
the
your rating
impact,
system
the
makes
fucking,
no sense.
How does it make no sense?
Then what would you rate Flower Boy as an album, not as a Tyler album? Like,
8.
why are you rating it that way? I just don't.
No, I put it on the tier list that way.
I mean, yeah, but you
I
said
rated
your
it. No. I rated. No, you got it backwards. I rated it as a whole album. I put it on the tier list as a Tyler album. They are two different things. Okay, that's all I said.
I think Flower Boy I would still put S with any other rap album.
Okay, maybe
that one specifically.
I wasn't even. I think you just misunderstood. That's all. But all right.
You're like, I'm rating them based on a Tyler album. I'm like, what does that even mean, though?
How do you know how tier lists work? Are we making a Tyler the Creator tier list, or are we making a rap album tier list?
S.
No,
like an S is an S to me.
So you think it's as good as MMLP?
I think it's up there. Yeah, sure.
You think it's as good as Illmatic?
Yeah.
You think it's as good as Ready to Die?
Yeah. Like, I think those are all S tier albums.
All right, fair enough.
I would give those all above a 9 score.
Yeah. I mean, I rated it an 8, so I wouldn't, clearly.
Yeah, I would consider anything over a 9.
So I don't know what you're trying to say, but yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So your favorite is Igor?
Yeah, I would say so. It's a toss-up between Igor or Call Me Feel Lost for me.
Do we get another Tyler album, like, in the next year?
It was 2 years. It was every 2 year span, but then he didn't drop. He dropped I guess he dropped the deluxe. 2025 will be the next year.
That's coming up,
That's next year.
But all right, well there you go. Let us know let us know how you rank the Tyler albums. Which is your favorite? How shitty is Cherry Bomb? Am I crazy or is it bad? Let us know.
Are you using S tier as not playing? All right.
Subscribe. We love you. We'll be back next week. Let us know who to do next. That's it. We love you.
Excited.
We'll see you.
All right, peace.
Peace.
It's Off the Top podcast, got you laughing like you hit the gas pack. Show is crazy like you watching Mad Max. Every other podcast is mad whack. Off the Top podcast.